Noon, Clarence Williams. We are ready to do another video. This is a video that we are going to show you moving from Amsterdam, going to Frankfurt, Germany. And I'm hoping, trusting that you will appreciate this video. Certainly, we have had a great time. This is the fourth or the fifth video that we are showing you of our trip going over into Europe. And certainly I've had a grand time just doing this. And so let's get into it. This video here is going to be August the 23rd through August the 25th, 2023. Again, please go to my YouTube site at Clarence Williams 3930, and please subscribe to that particular website or that particular site. We just appreciate you so very, very much. Let's get into this. Frankfurt is a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Now, this is Frankfurt. This is a map that we pulled up. We are using YouTube, and we are using Google to pull a whole lot of things that we did not know. We had a lot of buildings over there that we took pictures of, and we just decided that we're going to go into YouTube and go into Google, and we're going to get some names of these different places, and so we'll be able to show you and maybe identify some of the places. We got this map from Googling, and this is a map of just Frankfurt. And what we're trying to do is show you so you can have some visual concept as to what we are talking about, especially if you have not been over in this particular area. Now, if you look at this particular map, this is a map that gives us the different countries there. Now, we are right in this area of the Netherlands. And so if you're at the Netherlands and you're trying to get to Rome, Italy, that's our goal. We're trying to get that. So in order to get there, riding on a flex bus, it's going to take us some 20 some hours, which is just too long. And so what we wanted to do was break it up. So we had to go through all of these countries. And so we determined to just break it up, go into Germany. Really, we didn't even have a concept of going to Germany. But because we wanted to break up this travel riding on the bus, we decided to go to Germany. So you can see you got all these countries between the Netherlands and Italy, Rome, Italy. And so you have Germany, then you have France there, you have Switzerland. And so you have to go through all of those countries to get there. So what we decided to, even Belgium, I mean, we could have gone through Belgium. We could have went to the left and went to Belgium, went to into France, and then cut into to Italy. But when we looked at the map and we saw Venice down at the bottom, I had to go to Venice. And so in order to get to Venice, which is Italy, we decided just go straight through Germany. And if you go through Germany from the Netherlands, Amsterdam, you're going to go into Venice. And that's what we decided to do. So the first one was to go to Frankfurt. Then from Frankfurt to Munich, from Munich to Venice, and then take a Venice bus and go around and go down into Rome. So that's what we were doing. That's what we did. But we did that because we was trying to break up that long journey on the bus. And so this is a map showing all of those different countries that we had to go through. These are wind turbines. These are wind turbines. They are all throughout Europe. And riding on the bus, I am looking at these wind turbines, and They were so interesting to me that I began to start just taking pictures of them. And so then I began to do some research, Googling, to find out what is going on with all of these wind turbines. So interesting. I found out that they are energy producing wind turbines. And certainly that makes a lot of sense, a great deal of sense when you start thinking about energy. And so I looked up turbines, and Europe now has 255 gigawatts of wind capacity. Now that's a lot. That's a lot. And it is expected for Europe to install 129 gigawatts of new wind farms throughout the period of 2023 and 2027. And then the EU, with the European Union, the 27, is going to install at least 98 of that 129 gigawatts of wind farms. So they are, in my estimation, I think they are moving into wind energy, and so they are creating these turbines, and all through now you're just seeing the first or the beginning of my experience in looking at these wind turbines. But all throughout Europe, I discovered all of these different wind turbines. So it was my first start, but they just didn't stop in in Frankfurt or in Germany. They were everywhere that we went. These things. This is the flex bus. I talk so much about us riding on a flex bus. This is the type of bus that we were riding on, and we went all over Europe on this particular bus. Now, there are other bus companies that you can employ and get on and ride. Flexbus, we chose Flexbus because it took us everywhere we wanted to go. There were some buses that did not go in the areas that we wanted to go in. And then there were more other buses that went everywhere we wanted to go. But since we were in London, and and Manuel presented us with the Flexbus, then we just held on to Flexbus, and we went Flexbus everywhere basically that we wanted to go. However, we did get on a some type of car bus or something, same type of bus, but just a different name. And we got on that particular bus, and you'll see that when we get into I think Rome. Coming out of Rome, we went in that to that particular bus. But most of our journey was on this flex bus, and you can see this lady here. She has her bags, and she's ready to put her bags up under this bus. And then you see the maybe the bus driver there in the white in the door, and he's the one that's checking everybody in. He'll come down and he'll open up that bottom section where she can put her bags under there. That was so convenient to us because we can put our bags in that bus, under that bus, then we can go up into the bus. Don't have to worry about the bags. Remember, I talked about the train. No such luck. You would have to hold those bags with you all the way on that train. And if you had to change trains, then you have to haul those bags with you wherever you are going. Naturally, the plane, you just check your bags and you get on the plane and you just go. But this was our mode of transportation, and it worked for us, and we had no problem. In fact, what we did, not really being familiar with it from the beginning, we always would get a hotel close to that particular bus station so we can go back to that bus station and then talk with the attendant there and purchase our ticket going wherever else we wanted to go. But as I got more familiar with it, I just downloaded the app on my phone, and I just made the ticket, make the arrangements, purchased the ticket, and all I had to do was then show the bus driver the ticket right there on my phone. And that made it so much easier. But when you don't know or you're uncomfortable, you want to be as safe as you can. So starting out, I went directly to that bus station and purchased my ticket. Here are some old wind turbines, and now we are riding. We're riding on the bus, and all of the country, the scenery, and things so beautiful. And I'm just taking pictures, and we're just comfortably riding on the bus and just having a good time. We had something to eat, you know. Claire always going to take something to eat with her, you know. So we always had something to eat, something to drink. And on a distant, the bus is going to stop. In fact, the bus stops in all of these little towns. You don't get off, but at some point, you would have maybe a 15 minutes or a 30-minute stop where the bus will stop, park, and then you can go into the store. You can buy you something, use the bathroom, or what have you. All of our trips was always a 30-minute stop or a 15-minute stop or something where you can do that. But throughout Europe, riding on that bus, just like the Greyhound bus here, you're going to always stop in those little towns, people getting on, people getting off, going through all of these little towns. And so these little pictures that I'm showing you here, we're riding on the bus. This is a little construction going on here. I'm just looking at different things, taking pictures. Went across this particular bridge, saw commerce going up and down this particular river. And so I'm taking pictures. I'm just riding. Claire is sitting there. She's looking sometimes. She's eating sometimes. She's sleeping sometimes. I'm interested. I'm just looking at the country, and I am taking pictures, and I'm having myself a grand time taking pictures. All these little towns that we're going into. Now, this reminds me of the Needle in Seattle, Washington. If you ever been to Seattle, they have that needle there. I think at one time, Seattle hosted the World Olympics, and that it was right at that needle where they hosted the World Olympics. And so I've been there doing a Church of Christ conference and a lectureship, and I was privy to go all the way up into that needle. But looking at this structure here, it reminds me of the needle in Seattle, Washington. Another picture of the needle, same needle, and I have other pictures. See, we just passing by, and I am just snapping, just taking pictures. Now we're coming up on a bridge that is under construction. You can see it out the window there, and that's interesting to me because as a contractor, I worked on the construction of bridges, and so I was very interested in that construction. So I'm just snapping pictures of that particular bridge construction. I went on Google and I found that bridge on Google being constructed, and this is a picture of that particular same bridge being constructed that I went on Google and found, uh, so that you can get a better view of it. Look in the background on those hills. You see those wind turbines. They are all throughout our journey. Everywhere we went, when you start traveling, you're going to see those wind turbines. More pictures of just towns. This is this was a flex bus uh, station where we stopped, where some people got on, some people got off. Still in little town. Another picture of something, you know, a building or what have you. But I'm still just taking pictures Now we are in Frankfurt. We're in Frankfurt. The hotel is behind, and Claire took the picture of me in front of this hotel. Now, the Flex bus is in walking distance to this particular hotel. It's right around the corner. So, what I would always do, I would find, get the Flex bus ticket. That would give me the bus station name and the address, and then I will Google to see the hotels that are in that particular area, because we wanted to stay as close to the bus station as possible. And so this is the hotel. Flex bus station is right around the corner, where we can just walk there because we're only going to stay there one day. This is the lobby of the hotel, but we come in one day, we check in, and then the next day, the 24th, we get up and we tour. And then the 25th, we check out of the hotel, we go to the bus station, we get back on the bus, and then we're going to Munich. And we did that throughout our journey while we were riding on the bus, until we got to another city where Claire relatives was at. And when we got there, then they just took control. you know, Hospitality took in, love took control, care took control, support took control, and they did not want us to leave, one day and then go. No. And so that happened when we got to Rome. And we just stayed there about 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, and they took us all around. But being on our own, we rode one day, checked in, got up the next morning, toured the city, and then came back. And the next day we checked out, we was on the bus going again. In the background, this is the train station. Now, all of this is still right in that same area where the bus station is, where the hotel is at, and where the train station. Yeah, everything is right there. So we could have gotten on a train and went somewhere. And then there are also street buses and street subcars, that we were riding on. In fact, most of our journey here was getting on those train cars, those street cars above ground. We didn't ever get on a subway when we were here, and that's how we did our travel there. We did not find also a hop on hop off. We didn't find that here, so we were limited to getting on the streetcars and going. We are now inside of this train station, inside of the train station, and you can see they have all of these hotels, not all of them, but at least four of the hotels were listed right there on that big display. And even our hotel was there on that display. That's our hotel in the blue. That is right there. So I thought that was interesting, and naturally, I took a picture. Claire just took a picture of me being there. Now we are out in the streets. We are out in Frankfurt now. We have gotten on a train car, and it has taken us to some places. And as we were riding, we just saw this, and we just got off. We just got off. Now, where we were going, we didn't know. We just got on a train and went that way. But it worked out so beautifully that we ended up right in the commercial district of Frankfurt. And, not knowing, but it just worked out. God is always blessing, just in the blessed business. And these are different pictures of us being there. This right here is a fairy tale fountain. That's the name of it. It's a fairy tale fountain Claire is taking a picture here, and there's a lady on top of it, and then you have water that is skeeting up out of these little figures that's around it. A beautiful sculpture, beautiful fountain, but it's right there in that area. And if you look around from Claire, able to look at what Claire is looking at, you're going to see all of these skyscrapers, big, beautiful building. That's my picture right there at that sculpture. And then now we're beginning to turn, and we're beginning to take pictures now of these big, tall buildings. The central bank, the European central bank building is right there. That's that big glass building that you see in the background. That's the European Central Bank building. This is a historic district. It is also a commercial district, and Frankfurt has it houses a lot of the central commercial banking and exchange in Frankfurt, in Europe. It's right there in Frankfurt. Now, did we know we were going there? We did not. We just got on the car train and just took off. Now, this is Paul Place, or it's called Paul Square. But this place here, this is an old historic area, and you're going to see a whole lot because we spent a lot of time here, and it is right in that same area. You can see we took pictures here now of a building, and you can see these look like big rings, and they are overlapping each other. Very beautiful, sitting right outside of this particular building. But again, historic area. Mies is a trade fair. It's the world's largest trade fair. It's the largest trading fair company in Europe, right there in Frankfurt. And it says that it has 2,500 employees, and it has some 30 different locations. I mean, this is a large place. This is a large business. This is a business that really has a lot of influence in Europe, but it is housed right there in Frankfurt. It says it is headquartered in Frankfurt AM, Maine. I looked that up. Why is it like that? Frankfurt AM, Maine. That's the way we would say it. I would say it. But it is really saying Frankfurt owned the Maine. That's what it means. Frankfurt owned the Maine. And so when you say Frankfurt owned the Maine, well, what is the Maine? The Maine is a river. The Maine is a river. So it said Frankfurt on the Maine River, on the river Maine. Beautiful place. But this trade fair is owned by Frankfurt. The government, I guess, city of Frankfurt, 60% is owned by, and then 40% is owned by Mies. They say the federal state of Mies. I don't even know what Mies is. But because I thought the state was Germany, but maybe Germany is the country. I don't know. I didn't try to get into all of that, but it's still interesting to be able to know some stuff about where you are. Here's another picture of the central bank in the background and the other buildings that we were privy to do. This is the Euro sculpture. Now, when I first saw this, I was so amazed at this Euro sign, this sculpture just sitting there. And it is right out front of the European Central Bank. It sits right there, and so many people are coming through and they are taking pictures of it. Naturally, it's just a beautiful thing to take pictures of. So we took all kinds of pictures that you can see it in the background, and look at the backdrop of that particular sculpture. All of those beautiful buildings in the background. I mean, it is some type of nice, a beautiful area. More pictures of it, and I'm waving. Hey, how you guys doing? Sister Claire is there. Just had a grand time. Had a grand time. It is so much information that you can ascertain. It opens up your concept of the world. Sister Claire and I, we took a selfie together. Now look at, you see Sister Claire, myself, you see that European or that Euro sign, and then look in the background, those big old beautiful buildings. See back there. You should go there. You should go there and see that. St. Paul's Church and the Unity Monument. This is historic. This is historic. Uh, this church is an old. I mean, this is old stuff. Here we are walking on old ground, on holy ground, if you will. I mean, and I just had to Google it. I had to do some research on it. We did go in this church, if it was possible. Uh, Most of the uh, churches, if I saw it, I went into it if I could go inside. And naturally, I was respectful, but I wanted to go in and I wanted to see it. Now, this white monument to the left of me, that's they call the Unity Monument. The Unity Monument, and it's sitting right there, right outside St. Paul's Church. You see a lot of St. Paul. You see a lot of St. Peter, uh, like in Rome, St. Peter Basilica. You don't see too many of the other apostles as far as some tribute to them. But Paul and Peter, you see a lot of things that is in recognition to their ministry. I'm pretty sure. Now, this is a picture that I pulled off of Google, but it still shows the St. Paul's Church, and you can see it in a bigger site like there. And look in the background again, and you'll see all of those tall buildings that I'm talking about. So we got on the train car and we went to an area. We saw something we wanted to get off on. We got off, and then we just got right back on that same car, another one that came by, and we just rode down some more. Didn't know where we were going, but we were riding, and look how God opened up all of this beautiful stuff. I mean, we could have gotten on another car and went in another direction, which we did do, and I'll show you that as well. But going in this direction was truly a blessing uh, for us to have gone in. Now, this is a very old uh, historic view of St. Paul's Church. Very old historic view. In fact, in this particular view, you don't even see the Unity Monument. You just see, the building there, and it still pretty much looks the same, doesn't it? This is a grayscale image of it, but before, you see it's red brick, and you can see it's pretty much still the construction of it the same. The design of it is the same, so nothing really has changed in this particular building, but it's been there for a very, very long time. This is another picture of the whole area, the whole area. And listen, when I saw it, I wanted to do some investigation. I wanted to know something about it. And so that's what I did. Now, this is another closer picture of the Unity Monument. And I took about 2 or 3 pictures of that, trying to get some concept of the writings that was on this particular monument. But it all sits right there. Uh, this is that Paul Place or Paul's Square. It's a historic place, and that's what that Paul Place means. I did some copy and plate pasting of it. It says it is the largest square in the old town of Frankfurt of the Main. Frankfurt on the Main. I'm just going to say on the Main because I know what that Frankfurt AM Main mean. But this is a historic place. And then you have different events takes place here. The Christmas market takes place here November through December. You have a pedestrian zone where people just come and they just mingle around and they just just fellowship and just have themselves a great time. And then it also says that this church was Frankfurt National Assembly of 1848. They used to meet there. So it has a lot of historic significance to it. This is some more pictures of it. We spent a lot of time right here because you can just relax here. This is Rat's Killer. This is kind of like a tapping, You just go in there, and I'm pretty sure you drink whatever you want to drink. These are more pictures. I don't know whether these pictures here are still in Paul's Square, but it's on our route going. You can see above the lines, the electrical lines for the train to trolley down, and then at the bottom you can see the train tracks. So we are just riding on this train and going where we go. Now this is a picture of the train station. When we first started, I showed you that train station. I showed you the different hotels that was posted up on the board. This is on the inside of that train station. We didn't get on a train there because these trains here will take you out into other parts of Germany. That's what they are for. But the outside trains are kind of like city trolley trains that takes you around the city of Frankfurt. These right here, you're going to go to other cities. That's what these will take you. Now, this is the Mess Turn. Now, this is a big building. We are now into the financial district of Frankfurt. And you can see the train. Now, we got on this train. Now we are going a totally different way. We got on it. We went one way. And now we came back and we got on another one going in the opposite direction. And these are the different things that we saw. I don't know what these things here are. This is another picture of that tall building, the Mace Turn. That's the name of that particular building. Outside of that building, we found a monument, and this monument is a large sculpture of a guy, and this hammer that he has in his hand, his right hand goes up and down. It keeps moving up and down. This is a big, large structure. I mean, this thing is tall. It's two-dimensional, and it's all painted black. It's painted black, and it's right there. In fact, you can see the buildings right all around it. I took a picture of that because it was just interesting. Another picture of Sister Claire. Now we did this for what? 1 day. went in, got our room, got our hotel, went to sleep, got up the next day, did all of what you just saw, toured, you know. Now, naturally, you have to do what you're going to do and then get back to the hotel and then get up the next morning and then get on the flex bus and go again. And that's what we did. Now, the difference between this touring versus, say, when we got to Munich, we found a hop on, hop off. This one we had to basically do on our own. But when we got to Munich, we found a hop on tour bus. And it just changes everything when you get on one of those tour buses. You just pay your money, get on there, and then that tour bus takes you to all of the historic places and the famous places and the sceneries around that particular city. So in Frankfurt, we didn't find any of that. But when we got to Munich, then that's what we got on that one. And you'll see that one, Lord's willing, on our next video coming up when I can put that one together. This is the end of this particular video. Now we are preparing to get back on the bus, and we're going to the next destination. Where are we trying to go? We're trying to go to Rome. That's where we're trying to go. But instead of getting on that bus and going 20 some hours, we're getting on a bus and we are breaking it up at the most 8 hours on the bus. And then we get off, we get a hotel, tour the next day. Next day we're back on there, and then we go another 8 hours. And we had the time to do it. We wasn't in a rush. We just wanted to make sure that we see some things before we go on. So this is the end. Please go to the YouTube site at Clarence Williams 3930, and please subscribe. I'm trying to get at least 1,000 subscriptions. So if you would do that, that would certainly help me out a great deal. I just like doing this now. I'm getting into it, and I love doing it. And again, when you go to that YouTube, you're going to see all of the videos that I have put out there. Church videos, worship service, Bible studies, Now and Then, which is a political videos that I put out. And I'm still, I just see things so much going on from a political perspective that I want to just comment on. And I take time and put it together and then comment on there. And now this is, I believe, the 5th trip video that I have, that I'm putting out. And we still have a long way to go, because we went to, 6 countries and 15 cities. That's a lot. I had a great time. That's a lot. And I want to do all of that. Someone told me, Brother William, you need to put some videos out showing the trip that you did. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. So I'm into it now. And having a great time. Thank you so much again for watching. Please subscribe. Please continue to watch, like it. If you have any comments or what have you, please say that, so that I can read your comments and what have you. Again, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing our next video, presenting it so that you can see the journey that we did in Munich. Munich is a beautiful place. We went to mansions in palaces in Munich. Went to where the Munich Olympics was being held. Just a lot of great sights, a lot of great information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. Had a grand time. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless and keep each and every one of you. Amen, amen, and amen.